This house is such a mess. Why do you never help out around the house, Emma? You live here too, so I don't know why you think it's okay to just leave it a dump. Have some pride, will you?
What are you on about, Mom? The place should be clean. I made sure to do a clean of it yesterday evening. I mean, it wasn't a deep clean or anything, but it was enough so that the house was tidy.
Well, it's not. There's dirty dishes everywhere in the kitchen, not to mention that the surfaces are covered in crumbs and food splotches. Also, your laundry is everywhere. What do you think this place is? A dry cleaners or something? If you're going to live in this house with me, then you need to understand that I don't like a mess. You should know that from growing up here. Since when has it ever been okay for you to leave the place a dump?
Well, that's not my fault. I clean the kitchen from top to bottom. If there's anything dirty in there now, then it's Harley's. As for my washing, there's a small pile of it next to the washing machine that needs ironing. That's it. I know that you don't like a lot of mess in the house, Mom, so I try to keep it a minimum. However, sometimes things might be a little messy if I'm busy or if I've not had the chance to clean up everything yet. But the place isn't a dump. You can't expect it to be spotless all of the time. People do live here, you know.
Uh-huh. Well, now that you're an adult, you need to step up and actually help out around the house. You can say that you've cleaned all you want, but unless I see you doing it or the place is spotless, then I'm not inclined to really believe you. You can't really call the state of the house clean right now, can you?
But it is. I always help out around the house and make sure that everything is as tidy as it can be. I'm actually the only one to do any of the cleaning and tidying. You and Harley never do it. If it weren't for me, you'd be living in a pigsty.
Well, that's just not true. How can you speak to me like that? And how could you lie about your brother like that? He's always helping out and making sure that everything is as clean and tidy as possible. He's told me all about how you try and take credit for all of his hard work around the house. I have to say, that is really not the best thing to hear, Emma. You shouldn't do that.
But I don't do that. Harley never cleans. Like, at all. I couldn't take credit for it even if I wanted to, as he never cleans up after himself. Let alone think about others and help them out if they need it.
Well, now I know you're just lying. Harley is truly a little angel, he is. My perfect son. I know that he wouldn't lie to me about anything. So if he says that he cleans up and that you try and take credit for it, then I will believe him.
Ugh, barf. And do you seriously believe that I take credit for his cleaning? Have you actually seen his bedroom? I never go in there because that's his personal space, but it is a true trip in there. So if you think that Harley is the one cleaning the house, then you really need to get your head checked.
Stop being so rude. I'm sure he was just too tired to do his room yesterday after cleaning up all of your mess. He'll probably do his room today. After all, cleaning up after someone as slovenly and disgusting as you probably took hours. It probably took all of his energy to do it, so he had none left to clean his own room. Maybe, if you were more like him, then you'd have actually made something of your life by now.
Hang on. What's that supposed to mean?
Well, it means exactly what you think it means. You've done absolutely nothing with your life so far. The only thing you do all day is sit in your room and doodle away on paper. Where's the skill in that? I mean, who's going to want to pay for anything that you draw? It's all rubbish. It's not a real job at all. You need to focus on doing something a lot more practical and something that will definitely get you some proper money. Even if people wanted to buy your doodles, they're still not good enough to get you thousands of dollars. You're not an expert artist after all.
Wow, tell me how you really feel.
I will tell you. You need to get a real job so that you can start providing for this family. Forget about this drawing nonsense and go get an office job. That's what a good, self-respecting person would do, instead of freeloading off of their family. And if you can't get an office job, then maybe you need to go and get a normal job in a shop or something as a cashier. Lord knows you can't screw that up.
Oh, so now I'm a screw-up?
Well, I mean, if the shoe fits.
Wow. Thanks, Mom. That's made me feel a whole lot better about everything. I'm guessing you also think I'm freeloading, huh? Simply because I'm at home a bit more lately? I'm sorry, but have you met your son? Harley does absolutely nothing to help out around the house. He doesn't cook, he doesn't clean, and he certainly doesn't tidy up after himself. Not to mention the fact that he doesn't pay you any money for rent and bills.
Well, that's not his fault. I mean, he'll pay me when he can. It's far more than you pay me anyway.
Mom, he can't pay you anything. He doesn't have a job.
What do you mean he doesn't have a job? He works at the medical office in town. He sorts all of the files out for the patients and takes calls and stuff. I know he does. I've seen him there before.
Yeah, he might have worked there a few months ago, but he was fired.
Fired? What for?
He was stealing drugs, Mom. He's actually got a court date soon for it. If he's really unlucky, he could end up going to jail for what he's done, as it's completely illegal. His only saving grace is that he's an idiot, so he didn't know what to take, and he only ended up taking a prescribed form of anti-hay fever stuff.
No. My boy would never do something like that. He's too good for that.
No, he really isn't. Whereas I give you $400 a month to live here.
Is that so?
Yes, it is. I don't know why you don't seem to believe me.
Okay then. And if you're paying me this $400, where are you getting the money from? Being out of work and all that.
I'm not out of work. Do you honestly not see the $400 that goes into your account every month at the start of the month?
Oh, I see the money. But Harley said that you would say this. He told me what actually goes on. How he gives you the money for you to give to me so that I don't kick you out of the house. He obviously can't afford to give me any money after that because he's giving it to you. He would risk my anger being directed at him simply so you could stay here a little bit longer. Well, nice try, but it didn't work. I don't want any freeloaders in my house.
What are you even on about? I don't take any money off of Harley. I earn all of my money myself, and what I give to you is out of my own pockets because I want to help out however I can to make things easier for you. I know it hasn't been the easiest having me move back in for a little while, so I wanted to prove that it wasn't a bad decision whilst I get back on my feet again.
Oh, please. Look, your lies aren't going to work on me. I know the truth because Harley told me it.
No, he didn't.
So, I want you out of my house by the end of tomorrow.
What? Ugh. Why do you believe everything Harley tells you but refuse to believe whatever I say?
Because Harley's my perfect son. He would never lie to me. He's too good for that. And frankly, I'm insulted on his behalf that you would accuse him of something like that.
And I'm just a horrible daughter? Is that it?
Look, sometimes things just don't work out in families. You're my daughter, but if I had to choose between you and Harley, then I'm sorry, but I'd pick Harley every time.
Thanks for letting me know how little you value me.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. I just think that it's time for you to move on with your life. Move out of my house and get yourself your own place.
Are you actually kicking me out? Like, is this for real?
Yes, I don't see why it wouldn't be.
So you're going to make me move out of my childhood home, the place where I grew up, simply because you think that I don't help with the housework and chores and that I don't pay you rent?
It's not an unreasonable request, Emma. This is my home, after all. Besides, it's not just because you don't help out around the house. I want your room empty so that I can convert it into an ensuite addition.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. An ensuite? You're kicking me out for an ensuite? How selfish can you get?
I'm selfish? I beg your pardon.
Well, it's true. No loving and caring mother would kick their child out of the house simply so they could build themselves a new bathroom.
And no self-respecting and loving daughter would freeload off of her family simply so that she could doodle all day in her room.
It's not doodling. How many times have I told you that I'm looking to enter into the fashion industry? I'm not just drawing. I'm designing different dresses and clothes and then adding them into my portfolio so that I can apply to different companies and showcase my talent. and I've had quite a lot of people noticing me, actually. Unlike Harley, who just does nothing. I mean, I honestly don't know what he does all day, but it certainly isn't working or helping out around the house.
You're such a horrible sister, bad-mouthing your brother like that. I want you out of my house as soon as possible. Do you understand?
You know what? Fine. But don't come crying to me when you realize what a mistake you've made.
Mistake? It will be the happiest day of my life. Right after the birth of your brother.
Gee, thanks. Well, I can't wait to finally be rid of you and your toxic ways.
I feel the same way. Perfect in every way, that's my son Harley. Get out. If I had to decide, Harley would be my choice.
I've left already. Thank you.
Huh?
You told me that you wanted me out, so I've packed a bag and I'm out the door.
Well, good.
Whatever. See you.
Hey, Emma, I just heard about what happened between you and Mom. What a shame. Honestly, if only things could have worked out for you.
Uh-huh. I thought the exact same thing when you were born.
Jeez, rude.
What do you want, Harley?
Nothing really, just wanted to see for myself that you'd been kicked out. Make sure that you were actually going.
What a productive use of your time. Really, you've excelled yourself this time.
Whatever, you can try and be as smart, alecky, and sarcastic as you want, but at the end of the day, I'm the one staying at home, in a place I don't have to pay a single penny towards, and you're the one getting kicked out. I won.
I might be the one being kicked out, but you definitely haven't won anything. What do you think is going to happen now that I've moved out? Mom is going to want rent money, and that's something you just don't have.
It doesn't matter, Mom loves me, so I'll be able to just do what I want anyway. Anyway, don't you want to know why Mom suddenly wants you gone?
Let me guess. You wanted me gone for some stupid reason?
It's not stupid to want to move into the bigger room. You were just in the way. I did what I had to do in order to get what I wanted.
And you just didn't care who was in your way in the process, huh?
Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? As long as I get what I want, I'm happy.
Oh, whatever. I don't care anymore. Just leave me alone. Besides, I'll be getting a much better and bigger room soon enough.
Huh? What do you mean? Emma?
Emma, sweetie, it's been a while. How are you settling into your new home? Maybe I could visit sometime? What do you think?
What do you want, Susan?
Huh? What do you mean? Can't a mom just talk to her daughter and see how she's doing?
No. You don't care about how I'm doing. I know what you want. I just want to hear you say it.
What's that mean?
Let me guess. You've only just realized that I paid the bills, right? And you've also realized that Harley has absolutely no money and that he will never actually give you anything towards the house and bills. And that, without me, you're likely to be out of a house soon.
I just need a little bit.
Knew it.
Look, it's only $700. It's not that much, especially for you. I heard that you've recently joined a high-end fashion company and that you're earning thousands of dollars a year. You can spare a little bit of money from me.
Nope.
What? What do you mean, nope?
I'm not giving you anything. You treated me like rubbish the entire time that I lived with you. Always taking Harley's word over mine and acting as if I was nothing but a freeloader. You even kicked me out. Just because you want my money now doesn't mean I've forgotten or forgiven you for what you did. You're not getting a penny out of me.
You ungrateful brat. I brought you into this world, so you owe me.
I owe you nothing. I didn't ask to be born. Because if I had, I would have asked for a better mother.
Why,
You've made your bed, now it's time for you to lie in it. You wanted to kick me out. You wanted to hate me and pretend that I wasn't your daughter. Fine, but don't come trying to leech off of me when you want some money. It's not going to happen. I have worked too hard to just give it all away to someone who doesn't respect me, especially considering the fact that you didn't even support or believe in me when I started doing this. You just called it doodling. Well, my doodling has gotten me quite a long way, no thanks to you. If you want a loan, then you'll have to go to a bank, not me. Now, don't try to contact me again, because I want nothing to do with you or Harley anymore. If you do, I'll just be sure to get a restraining order.
But
Goodbye. Have a nice life. I know I will now that I'm rid of you toxic people. After cutting off my mom and my brother, I felt much more free. It was like a horrible, toxic weight had been lifted from my shoulders. I continued to work in the amazing company that hired me, and I have even started being allowed to work on some of the designs that will be used on the catwalk. I am so excited. I literally can't think of a single better thing to happen to me than this. I've managed to find a really nice place of my own in the city, not too far from my work. It's a lovely flat, which I keep nice and clean so that I can be proud of the place that I am living in. It's nice to finally have my own home where no one can boss me about and try to make me feel small. What I say goes in my house, and it's quite refreshing to be able to tell others what to do for a change. As for my mom and brother, the last I heard was that they had to sell the house as they couldn't pay the bills. My mom moved away to try and start a new life somewhere else, and Harley ended up moving into a horrible, run-down apartment, which he had to work full-time at a diner in order to afford rent for. It's kind of sad, but he also kind of deserves it, as he never once was nice to me or even tried to better himself. Maybe this will be the kickstart he needs to get his life in order.
Sweetie, I know that usually on Tuesdays you stay at mine, but could we swap that to yours for tonight? A pipe has burst in my apartment, so it's basically unlivable. I've got people coming to fix it, but they won't be able to sort it out for a couple of days, so I have no water either.
Hey, honey, yeah, that's fine. What happened, though? Is there anything I can do to help? I'm not the handiest of men, but I know my way around a tool or two.
Oh, no, it's okay. Like I said, the maintenance guy is coming round. I just need somewhere to stay for a few days.
Oh, yeah, sure, that's fine. Bring as much stuff as you need. I'll make some space in my wardrobe for you.
Thanks. I can't believe this has happened to me, though. It's just typical. At the worst time as well, as it's going to cost me a load of money that I don't really have to pay to have it fixed.
I know how you feel. I remember when I was in college, in my first rental flat, the heating went off completely, and I had to get a guy to come out and fix it ASAP, because it was winter. My landlord refused to pay for it, so I had to pay for it myself. I had to live off of toast and porridge for quite a while after that.
Yeah, I might have to do that after I've paid for this.
Well, here's an idea. Why don't you move in with me? I mean, I've been thinking about it for a while now, so it's not just a spur-of-the-moment thing, but I figured we always spend the week either at your place or at mine, and I just don't see the point in that, you know? If we just got our own place, then we could share the rent costs and all the bills, so it would be much cheaper for both of us, if you want to.
Hang on. Do you mean, like, live together? That kind of moving in with one another? Like, we'd be in the same house, together all of the time?
Well, yeah, that's kind of what living together means.
Oh.
Do you not want to? It's okay if not. I don't want to force you into anything.
No, it's not that.
What's wrong then?
It's just, well, I've never had to live with another person before. Except for my family, obviously. But since moving out, it's just been me. I think it'd just be a bit weird is all.
Oh, well, there's no need to worry about that. I mean, it probably will be a little weird for the first few weeks or a couple of months. We've both gotten used to living on our own and adhering to our own rules, so we'll have to learn how to work together and perhaps change a few things so that we don't get annoyed with one another, but I think it would be a good thing if we did it. I mean, we have been dating for 2 years now. A lot of couples have moved in together by this point.
I suppose. But what if you do something that I don't like? We could get into a huge argument which could lead us to breaking up. And then, because we've sold our apartments to buy a joint one, either one of us or neither of us will have somewhere to live. It's a big risk.
Well, that's a bit of a worst case scenario, don't you think? I mean, it would have to be a pretty bad argument for us to break up over it.
Yeah, but it could happen. Plus, where would all of my stuff go? I've got lots of things, so I would need a lot of space to store it all.
We can find somewhere for it to go. It wouldn't be a problem at all. After all, we could look for a place together that has quite a bit of space for the both of us. Or we could make space in either one of our places. It would be quite doable. But you seem quite hesitant. So if you don't like the idea, we don't have to do it.
Well, say I agree. How would we afford this new place then, if we looked for it?
We'd have to put our money together, especially if the new place is bigger than what either of us have at the minute, as it'll obviously cost more. But considering we've both got full-time jobs, it shouldn't be too bad.
Hang on. So you're saying that I'd have to pay for the new place as well?
Well, yeah, obviously, I'm not earning enough to pay for a whole apartment, or 2 people all by myself.
Well, how much do you make? Annually, I mean.
Why does that matter?
If we're going to be getting a place together, I'd like to know how much we have so I can know the price range of the places we can look at.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So, does this mean that you want to move in together?
I guess. Though, if I do this, then I need to know that you're committed to me.
What do you mean?
I'm 28, and I'm not getting any younger, so I need to know that you want to be with me forever, and that you won't leave me, or whatever.
So, like marriage?
Yeah, I would like to get married soon and possibly have children, and I would like for their dad to be around to help look after them and raise them. So I need to know that you're serious about being with me if we do this.
You don't need to worry about that, Jill. I'm more than committed to being with you. There's no other woman that I want to be with, and if you'd have me, I'd marry you tomorrow if you wanted to.
Wait, did you just propose to me over text?
I guess I did. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it like that. I would have had it all planned out and romantic and everything, but I guess, as I've asked, if you wanted to give me a little indication as to whether you'd say yes or not, just so I'm not as nervous when the time comes for me to do it properly.
Being nervous of the answer is kind of the whole point of proposing, though. But I guess that I could give you a hint or something. But first, I'd need to know how much money you earned on a yearly basis.
Bit of an odd ask, but I earn about $40,000 a year after taxes. What about you?
40,000? That's it?
What do you mean, that's it? It's quite a lot of money if you think about it. Considering I've only been at this job for a couple years, I've moved up the ranking quicker than anybody else in the company.
That doesn't matter. You only earn 40,000? How can you expect me to live off of that? It's like barely 3,000 a month.
That's a lot of money to live off of in a month, Jill, especially considering that the rent and bills will be half between us, meaning you'll have to pay for half of them. On average, if you take $1,000 off for rent payments and bills, we'd still have $2,000 to live off of for the month, and that's not including your salary. There's still a lot of people much worse off than that.
I don't care about other people. I have gotten used to a way of living, and I can't be expected to give it up now. You'll have to pay all of the rent and bills so that I can use my money to buy the things I want and do the things I want to do.
I can't do that. It'll be way too expensive. Especially as a bigger place will cost more. I'll have no money left for myself or for other expenses. If we're gonna move in together, you're gonna have to pay half.
Ugh, if you think that I'm going to move in with someone who earns such a little amount of money, you are dead wrong. Let alone marry them, no way.
Wait, you're saying you don't want to get married now?
Definitely not. At least not to you. I'm not going to waste any time on a poor person. I'm pretty enough that I will be able to find a rich guy or celebrity of some kind and live a life of luxury. Something that you, apparently, can't provide. How come you never told me that you were so destitute?
I'm not destitute. I earn quite a decent amount.
Uh-huh, sure you do. Look, I'm not going to be with someone who doesn't earn enough money to afford me a life of comfort. I mean, a bare minimum I would accept someone making is around 80,000, and that's literally a starting point. Had I known how much you were earning from the start, well, I don't think this relationship would have gone on for as long as it has.
Oh wow, so you're basically telling me that the only reason you were with me was for my money? You don't want to work in life and you thought that I was your paycheck to a comfier and less hard life, huh? So that you don't have to work and you can just go out and spend your time and money however you please. Is that right?
So what if it is? It's not a crime to want an easy life, is it? It's only the smart thing to do. Finding someone who already has a lot of money so that I don't have to do all of the hard work to get it. Loads of other people do it.
Ah, so you're a gold digger. That explains a lot.
I'm not a gold digger. I'm just someone who knows what they like and what they want out of life. I can't help it if that's the expensive things. I just have good taste, and I deserve to be with a man who can actually afford to buy me the things I want. Just because you can't do that isn't my fault.
But I've only been at my job for a couple of years, so it stands to reason that I'll just climb up higher in the company as the years pass by, meaning that my wage will get higher as well.
A couple of years? You really think that I can wait years for you to start earning even a half-decent wage? No thank you. Either you need to quit that job and find a new one that pays at least 80,000, or you will lose me entirely. Your choice.
There's no job anywhere that I'm qualified for anyway that'll let me just waltz in and start earning $80,000 a year. It's just not possible. Plus, I like my job. I like the people I work with, and I like what I do. I think it's interesting.
And that's why you'll never amount to anything. You're too happy to be just a simple worker, not aspiring to earn more or elevate yourself in any way. It's pathetic, and I'm not going to stay with someone who is pathetic. So, if your choice is to stay where you are, then I'm going to go and find myself someone who can actually facilitate the kind of life that I want.
You know what? Fine then. If our relationship means so little to you, if all you're bothered about is money, then maybe it is best if we split up. I don't think I would want to marry someone so selfish and one-track minded anyway.
If that's what you need to tell yourself to help you get over me, then fine. But we both know I'm the best thing that will ever happen to you, and you will never find anyone like me again. Shame what being poor can do.
I think I'll be fine. Goodbye, Jill.
Bye then. Hello, Chris. How are you? It's been a while.
Hello? Who is this?
Oh, you don't need to pretend, I know you know who it is. I mean, how could you forget me so quickly?
Honestly, I really don't know who this is, so you need to either tell me who it is, or I'm just gonna block your number.
It's me, Jill.
Oh, Jill, I should have guessed with that self-important attitude. What are you messaging me for? It's been 3 years already.
Oh, I know. I just agreed to get married, though, and I couldn't help but think about you. Because we almost got married.
Well, congratulations, I guess. I hope he makes you happy.
Yeah, I mean, Mike is a bit older than me, but it's not too bad. He's a builder with his own company, so he earns a decent amount of money. Who knew guys were so sensitive and picky nowadays, though? You'd think that anyone would be dying to be with me, considering how beautiful I am. But they all said they couldn't stand my personality. How rude is that?
Uh-huh.
But anyway, he earns more than you, so I've still upgraded there, wouldn't you say? LOL.
Not really, no.
My boyfriend earns 80,000 per year. I feel like you don't even try.
My yearly income is $120,000 now.
Huh? What do you mean you earn 120,000 now?
Exactly what I said. That's my yearly income.
But how? That's not possible. You were just a lowly poor worker. You shouldn't have that much money.
I told you that I'd only just started at my job and that if given a few years, I would be able to move up in the company, which would increase my pay as well. Although I'm surprised as well that it's only taken me 3 years to get this far. Apparently, I'm the best employee this company's had in years. I think I might even be up for another promotion again soon, which of course means an increase in pay again.
But you told me it would take years for you to earn that much money.
No, I said that it could take me years, but that I would definitely progress. You were the one who said that she couldn't be bothered to wait. You wanted me to be earning a ridiculous amount straight away, and it just wasn't possible.
Well, maybe I was a bit hasty. I mean, I was just trying to incentivize you to work harder so that you could progress quicker. And it definitely worked, didn't it? I mean, you've climbed up the company so quickly just to impress me. And I can honestly say that I am impressed. So, I accept your proposal. We can get married now. Isn't that great news for you?
What?
I'm saying yes to your proposal.
Jill, I asked that over 3 years ago, and you said no because I was too poor for you. I'm not gonna marry you now simply because you like the fact that I have a bit of money now. I really don't want someone so shallow as my wife. Not to mention that you literally just told me that you're already engaged to this Mike guy.
I can easily get rid of him. You don't need to worry about that. What's important is that we can finally be together like we should have always been.
No, I'm not marrying you.
You can't say no. Only I can say no. You have to marry me. I want to live a life of luxury and you can buy that for me, so you need to give it to me.
Okay, firstly, I would never marry someone just so that they can laze around, not work and spend all my money on whatever they want. And secondly, I'm already married.
What? You can't be married? I can't believe you cheated on me like that.
I haven't cheated on you. We weren't even together for the last 3 years.
Well, you'll just have to divorce her then. But make sure that she doesn't get all of your money in the divorce, as that would just be a waste.
I'm not gonna divorce my wife. I love her and she's such an amazing woman that I would have to be insane to divorce her for you. She's sweet and kind and very caring. She's backed me up and supported me through thick and thin, and I couldn't think of a better partner in life. Unlike you, you'd probably just keep demanding that I work until I drop, just so that you can have as much money as you can. I'm not willing to get into a relationship like that.
But Chris...
Nope. Anyway, I'm a very busy person, so I'm gonna go. I'm also gonna block your number, so don't bother trying to message me again. Good luck in your marriage. See ya.
No, wait, Chris. You can't do this.
Jill tried multiple times to contact me again and try to convince me to divorce my wife, but that was never gonna happen. I blocked all of her communication channels and even alerted her to the fact that I would get a restraining order if she didn't leave me alone. After that, she left me alone and, I presume, married her boyfriend Mike. All I can say is that I hope he knows what he's in for. As for me, I'm continuing to do well in my job and I've even been put up for another promotion. My wife and I are also doing really good in our relationship, so much so that we're even expecting a baby. I really am grateful for how my life has turned out, as it is perfect. It just goes to show that hard work and finding someone who supports you in everything you do really will get you far in life.